General disclaimer. Welcome to this official presentation on Affiliate Marketing Model 3.0. All presenters are providing their services on a volunteer basis and are active participants in all products they are presenting. Their views and opinions do not necessarily reflect those of the organisation. While we aim for accuracy, errors may occur. All content is for informational purposes only. The information provided is general and not personalised advice. We are not liable for any losses. We provide information and systems, but we do not endorse any purchases of memberships. Your decisions are yours alone, so we advise conducting thorough research. If uncertain, seek guidance from a qualified professional. Attendees accept these terms by continuing to view this presentation. Let's explore affiliate marketing cautiously and curiously. Legal disclaimer. You are viewing an Affiliate Marketing 3.0 official presentation. All products and services, their component parts and operating methods and systems, either provided by or created by Affiliate Marketing 3.0, belong solely to Affiliate Marketing 3.0. All IPs are protected. Anyone copying, distributing, or reselling any Affiliate Marketing 3.0 product without express permission risks serious legal consequences. Any unauthorized broadcasting, live streaming, or social media sharing of Affiliate Marketing 3.0 presentations is strictly prohibited. Downloading and re-uploading presentations without permission violates copyright law and may also lead to legal consequences.
Recording in progress.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Affiliate Marketing 3.0 presentation today, focusing on the third financial operating system. That is Web3 powered, and we have one of the best presenters to present it to you and for you, describing the opportunity that awaits you. And for those of you who are already participating and engaged, congratulations. And for those who are brand new, this is their first time joining us or third time joining us, welcome. My name is Grace, and I truly appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here. To get the most out of this, though, I urge you to grab your notebook that you have started on this and your pen to take some notes, because what this presenter has to say to you is of the utmost importance, and you want to jot down some notes as well. Jot down some questions, because you'll have the opportunity to ask those at another time or during the presentation. So now make sure that you have everybody here that you want with you. Call your associates, send them a text, send those that you care about, and let them know that we are on. And today they have the treat of having Sheba Joe present to us a special training that I thought, I have been urging him to go ahead and repeat this because I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And this is Friday Education Day, and he is really going to provide you some education, wonderful education. Joe, as you know, is a leader and a ranked leader, but he's also a community leader who cares and does understand and believe in this program, the 3FO and Affiliate Marketing 3.0. I'm going to stop talking and ask Joe to come forward. Joe, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you very much, Grace. And yeah, it's always a joy. So good evening to all of you, and thank you for joining us. Yes, please do reach out because I think tonight's mindset training that I'm going to be doing, I think could have an impact on maybe all of you, but I at the very least hope on some of you. So please do reach out to your friends, your family, and your prospects, and to your existing community. Bring them in, and hopefully they will get a benefit from tonight as well. So let's make a start. So tonight's training is called Facing the Shadow, the Devil Within. That does sound a little bit ominous, doesn't it? So let's have a look. Now, I just want to start with 3 brief stories. The first one is about how they used to train elephants. They would take a baby elephant, the circuses of the day in the a few hundred years ago, they would take a baby elephant and they would drive a big wooden stake into the ground, and they would tie the elephant to the stake with just a small piece of rope, tie it to the elephant's leg. And the baby elephant obviously would try to escape, and it would continue to try to escape, and from time to time may even hurt itself while it was trying to escape. But the baby elephant could not escape. There was nothing that it could do. It didn't have the strength to be able to break free. As the baby elephant grew up and it made more attempts and those attempts failed, eventually the elephant becomes fully grown. And what they realized was that they could just put a small stake into the ground and tie the baby elephant, or now the fully grown elephant, to that stake using just really a piece of string, and the elephant wouldn't break free. Because in the years when it was growing up, it learned that it couldn't break free. It learned that it was hopeless, useless in making the effort. So as an adult, it remained stuck. It remained tied to the pole, and it wouldn't even attempt to break free because it truly believed that its efforts would be useless. The second story is about an experiment that they did with fleas. And they put a bunch of fleas into a jar with the lid off. And fleas, as we all know, have a tremendous capacity for being able to jump distance. So one by one, the fleas would eventually jump free of the jar, and the jar would no longer have any fleas in it. Then they would put a bunch of fleas into the jar, and they would put a lid on the jar. And the fleas would jump up, hit the lid, and fall back down. And they would do this over and over and over again. And what they discovered was that over time, the fleas would regulate how high they would jump, and they would only jump to within a few centimeters of the lid on the jar. And they allowed them to do this for a few days. They eventually took the lid off of the jar. And surprisingly, the fleas did not jump clear of the jar. They didn't realize that there was no ceiling. They still continued to only jump just a few centimeters to where the lid would have been. And the fleas remained trapped because they had learned that there was no use jumping any higher because they could not escape. This is an experiment that's said to have been done, but I don't know if it actually ever was done. And this was an experiment done with 5 monkeys, a ladder, and some bananas. And they put all of these into a cage, and a monkey would try and climb the ladder to reach the bananas. Every time a monkey climbed the ladder, the scientists would spray all 5 monkeys with freezing cold water. And as each monkey attempted to climb, they all got sprayed and soaked. Eventually, as a monkey tried to climb the ladder, the other monkeys would grab that monkey, drag him off the ladder, and beat that monkey up. And any time a monkey tried to climb the ladder, the others would drag that monkey off the ladder. One by one, they started to replace the monkeys. So they took out one monkey, they would put in a brand new monkey. And that monkey, not knowing any different, would try to climb the ladder and grab the bananas. The other monkeys would grab the new monkey off the ladder and beat the monkey up. They would then replace another monkey, and they continued to do that until all 5 monkeys had been replaced. Even though the new 5 monkeys had never been sprayed with water, every time a monkey tried to climb the ladder, they would grab the monkey and pull him off the ladder and beat that monkey up. They had learned that you can't climb the ladder to get the bananas, but they didn't know why. They simply repeated the behavior that they had learned from the previous monkeys. So what does all of this have in common? Well, these are what's called self-limiting beliefs. This is where you believe that you have limitations in your control. And these hold you back. These stop you making progress, stop you being where you want to be. They will keep you stuck in the situation that you are in right now. And they will make you leave opportunity behind. Now, remember, there are no missed opportunities. There are only opportunities that you haven't taken. Because for every opportunity that you miss, that you don't take up, someone else will take that opportunity. And these self-limiting beliefs will make you break any commitments that you have to improving your life, any commitments that you have to taking a step out of your current circumstances, any commitments that you have to changing your future. And this is called conditioning. This is something that I learned, not all of these experiments, but conditioning is a behavior that I learned when I worked in the prison service. And this is where you have learned behavior. Now, I want you to just take a look at this image. Just lean into this training for tonight. Just run with me. Look at this image. Think about it. What does it make you feel? Does it remind you of anything that you were scared of in the past? What emotions does this image bring up within you? Jack Canfield coined this phrase: everything you want is on the other side of fear. Tonight's training is all about fear, being afraid, and how fear can hold you back. Fear is practically a conditioned behavior, because fear is the instinct to protect yourself, the fight or flight instinct. And fear is a response to impending danger or immediate danger, where you fear that you might get hurt or killed or maimed in some way. Fear is something that is so deeply ingrained in us because it has been part of our emotions and our psyche for hundreds of thousands of years. But we interpret things differently now. Life is different. We haven't got to be scared of the same things that we had years ago, hundreds of thousands of years ago. So fear now is practically a conditioned response. Tonight, I want to help you to identify your fears and why fear can be a guide. Perhaps give you the tools to build courage and move past your fears. with some simple daily mindset habits. Now, obviously, we are here within the context of our business opportunity, affiliate marketing 3.0 and 3FO. One of the things that stops people from building a business, one of the things that keeps you stuck, is fear. And hopefully, with tonight's mindset training, I can help you see past those fears and why those fears are irrational, and how we have the best opportunity in the crypto space that will enable us to create wealth for ourselves and also create wealth for others. And the only thing holding you back is your own fear, your irrational fears. Now, there are some common fears. The fear of not being enough. That sounds crazy, doesn't it? The fear of not being good enough. Why would anybody not be good enough? How can anybody make that judgment of anybody else or even of yourself? The fear of being judged. That's crazy. The fear of being judged. What is the fear of being judged? Well, that is your fear of what other people will think of you when you tell them what you're doing. You know, there is no knight there is no white knight in shining armor coming to save you. Whatever happens in your life, there are very, very few, maybe no people that will come and save you. We each have to take control of our own lives, of our own circumstances. As a child, yes, it's easy to be so overwhelmed with the fear of what other people will think of us. But as we grow up and we become adults, the idea that what other people are thinking of us is how our lives should be guided is kind of crazy. Because after all, there is nobody more in control of your life than you. So why should we care what other people think? And believe me, people are not thinking about you as often as you might think. The fear of success. What happens if I do succeed? What do I do then? I mean, this sounds even crazier, doesn't it? The fear of being successful. We're all here because we want to be successful. We want financial freedom. So why would anybody have a fear of success? And I think it's more about the fear of limitations. Once you've succeeded, what do you do next? What do how will my life change? It is the fear of change. How will my life around me change? What about the people around me? Of course, we work in an industry where we can bring those people with us. We don't have to leave anybody behind. Yes, our lives will change, but we can help others to change their lives as well. So we can all achieve a much better life alongside each other. The fear of the unknown. And this is a big one. You know, this is a huge fear for everybody. The fear of the unknown. I don't know how to do it. I don't understand everything that I need to know. What will I do? How will I learn? And of course, there is always a way of learning. And within the space that we are in now, there is more than enough education, because we are never in business by ourselves. We are in business for ourselves. We are all individual business owners, but none of us are in business by ourselves, because we all have somebody who introduced us into this business, who should know, maybe not everything, but they should certainly know all of the central parts of this opportunity. And of course, we have Zooms every single day to provide you with information and education. So there is no reason to be afraid, because the unknown is only the unknown for as long as you stop, as long as you don't look for the knowledge. So fear is not really the problem. Avoidance is. A mindset shift is needed urgently so that you can create new results. A new mindset will bring new results. Because if you continue to do what you have been doing for the last 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and you're expecting the next 10 years to be different, to be better than the last 10 years, then you're deluding yourself. It will not happen unless you're prepared to change your behavior, unless you're prepared to change your mindset. Then nothing in your life will change. You will continue to get the same results day in, day out. Now, there's two sides to fear. We have destructive fear. This is the type of fear that can paralyze you, the type of fear that can keep you small, keep you stuck exactly where you are. Now, this can be really debilitating, because even though you are stuck where you are, you will have undoubtedly been in that situation for a long time. And when you're in any situation for a long time, eventually it becomes comfortable. You have now created a new comfort zone. And then it becomes difficult to move out of that comfort zone and create a new comfort zone. There was a story I read about in a book some years back now, about a man who visited a friend of his, and his dog was laying on the porch of his house, and the dog was whining. And the man asked his friend, "Why is your dog whining? What's wrong with your dog? Is your dog okay?" And he said, "Yeah, he's fine. He's just laying on a nail." Laying on a nail? Well, why doesn't he move? He says, because the nail isn't uncomfortable enough to make him move. And this is how we all are. We are in our little comfort zone, even though it's uncomfortable. And what is uncomfortable in our comfort zone? We're not earning enough income. We have more month than money, but we just about manage to survive. We're just about managing to get through month after month, living paycheck to paycheck. So we are uncomfortable enough to whine about it, but we're not quite uncomfortable enough to move out of that circumstance. Of course, we have constructive fear. Now, this can point you to the next level. This can signal growth. This is fear that you are experiencing because you are starting to move out of your comfort zone and you're starting to feel uncomfortable. But that's good, because it means that you are growing, you are expanding your comfort zone. And as you continue to expand your comfort zone, you will experience more and more growth. It is now time to reframe fear. Fear is a signpost to your potential. What is it trying to teach me? Fear can be a priceless education. So, what is fear? False evidence appearing real. This is very cheesy, and I'm sure those of you who've been in the affiliate marketing space for a long time have read this hundreds of times. But as cheesy as it might sound, it is true, because if you consider hundreds of thousands of years ago, fear, the fight or flight emotion, was about self-preservation. And what were you fleeing? What were you running away from? You're running away from saber-toothed tigers. You're running away from other creatures that might want to eat you. And we still, even now, all these thousands and thousands of years later, react in the same way to fear. We want to run away. We want to escape. When in reality, all we're really fearing is what we don't know, the unknown. What we're really fearing is stepping out of our comfort zone. We are perceiving things as scary, as frightening, and we want to run away from that rather than confronting it and enabling ourselves to grow and expand our comfort zone, learn something new, and have a better life. Fear is your imagination expecting the worst. And this is what the image was right at the very beginning that I asked you to look at and consider what it made you feel. Because it's just an image. It's a picture. And yet that picture can evoke such emotion that even though you know there is nothing to be scared of, inside you can still fear the trepidation of monsters. And this is exactly what is happening. You see something as scary. Your mind perceives it as danger and starts conjuring images, giving you reasons to be scared, giving you reasons to want to run away, rather than embracing that fear and stepping into the unknown and achieving what you've been wanting to achieve for so long, a better life. Now, we've all been, many of us, if not all of us, have been in this industry for a long time. But we've been in this company now long enough to know that we have a very exciting future. Fear is controlling you. Fear is making your decisions for you. How dare we let fear be our motivation? How dare we let fear into our decision-making process? It is preventing you from living the life that you deserve. Remember, we are all where we are because of decisions we have made through our entire life. Some of those decisions would have been good decisions. Some of those decisions would have been bad decisions. But how many of those decisions would have been great decisions? And how many decisions did you make that you can look back on now and wish you had made a different decision? How dare we let fear control our future? Because that is exactly what is happening now. Fear is keeping you stuck. Fear is keeping you stuck in your current situation, preventing you from moving forward, preventing you from having the life that you have always looked for, the life that you believe that you deserve, let alone what we believe. We know you deserve a better life, but do you believe you deserve a better life? And fear is controlling that outcome. How dare we let fear set our destiny? And how dare we let fear choose our lives? Now is the time to stamp fear out. We are part of an amazing company with an incredible CEO who you could call a visionary because he is doing things that have not been done before. He's bringing new things into the world. Yes, it's been a rocky journey, but no successful journey is a straight line. No successful journey is without trouble, without difficulty, without challenge. Even life isn't like that. If you consider, if I look at my life from the age of, let's say, 18 to now, it's definitely not been a straight line. So how dare we let fear and continue to let fear choose our future, choose our lives? You can override fear with goals. Set clear goals. What do you want to achieve, and when do you want to achieve it by? Now you create a plan. Now you know what your goals are. Create a plan. What steps will you take each day that will help you move closer and closer to your goal? And then take daily action towards that goal. And recognize your achievements. If you want to climb Mount Everest, you don't wait until you get to the peak before you say, amazing, great job. It's such a big mountain to climb. You celebrate each time each day, every step of that journey. So recognize the small steps that you're taking towards your goal, because those small steps accumulate. Those small steps collect up to become one giant leap closer to your goal. Because action will always be king. Sometimes I think people misunderstand how things work, and they believe that they need to be motivated first in order to take action. Now, that's not true. Yes, you need a why. You need a good, strong reason why. And that may provide temporary motivation, but a reason why isn't strong enough for the long term. It has to be backed up with action. Because when you take action, you get results. When you get results, you earn income. When you earn income, you're motivated. And when you're motivated, you take more action. Action is king, because action will be the driving force behind your reason why. You know, I teach people to drive. Their reason to want to learn to drive is that they want to have their own car. They want their freedom to be able to come and go as they please without having to wait for other people to pick them up, without having to rely on people to drop them off. That's a big reason why. But without taking that step to get in a car and learn to drive, that why is useless. Everything boils down to action. If you are not prepared to take action, then you cannot be disappointed that you haven't achieved the results. Courage is a muscle, and courage is not the absence of fear. It is feeling afraid and doing it anyway. Think of the firefighters of the world that run into burning buildings to save people. Do you think that they're not afraid? I'm quite sure they are. They're aware of the risks. They train for that every single day. And despite having that fear, we know that if we're trapped in a burning building, that they will come and rescue us. Consider our brave men and women of the military. When they go to battle, do you think they're not scared? Of course. Of course they're scared. They know what the outcome might be, but they do it anyway because they believe that freedom is worth fighting for. They believe that a better future is worth fighting for. And they believe that people are worth defending, those freedoms. And that better future is worth defending. But I'm quite sure that they don't do it without fear. Courage and bravery is not the absence of fear. It is still feeling afraid, but doing it anyway. Every time you face your fears, you get stronger. You gain confidence, and you prove to yourself that you can achieve. I recommend this book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. It's a book I've read a couple of times in my life, and it's an excellent book. And I recommend that you read it because it will help you understand how you can overcome your fear and how you can live a more successful life. It's time to build up your fear muscle. Do one uncomfortable thing every day. And you don't have to start off big. It doesn't have to be jumping out of an aeroplane. It can be something as simple as just getting out of the wrong side of bed or a different side of the bed, let's say. Because that will feel uncomfortable for a few days and then you'll get used to it. Then instead of putting your trousers on first, put on your socks on first. Just do something every day that is uncomfortable until it becomes comfortable, and slowly increase that uncomfortable thing and that uncomfortable feeling, and you will become, eventually you'll start to grow more courageous and you'll start doing bigger and bigger things. And celebrate those small wins. You know, pat yourself on the back. Every time you have a step forward in your goal, in your plan, pat yourself on the back. Congratulate yourself. Have a beer. Have a glass of wine. Have a dinner. Just celebrate those small wins because you deserve it. Because you are doing what millions of others are not. Why is 95% of the world broke and only 5% of the world rich? What are they doing that the rest are not? Are they lucky? They didn't all win the lottery. Some of the most successful people on the planet came from the most disadvantaged circumstances. So celebrate the small wins because you are doing something that others are not willing to do. They will remain stuck, whereas you are progressing forward. And track your progress so that you know when you've made a small win. Track what you're doing so that you can see your achievements happening real time. You can become the lion within. You don't need to remain the kitten. You can be the lion. When you look in the mirror, see who you are. See who you can be. Reach out and touch your future. You can reprogram your mindset. Remember, you are only born with two fears: the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. Every other fear is learned behavior. Like I said at the beginning of this presentation, it's conditioning. You have learned to be afraid of success. You have learned to be afraid of stepping out of your comfort zone, either by your social circle or by your family. I don't know. We all have our own story. And I'm sure if we all take a moment to look within, we can look back at certain times in our life and realize that that moment had such a deep impact in us that it has been a major contributory force to keeping us stuck to where we are now, a major contributory force to preventing us to moving forwards, to achieving the things that we want to achieve. Because after all, are the 5% better than the 95%? I'm a ranked leader. Am I any better than you? Am I a different person? I come from a different country. Is that what's happened? Is that what's made it happen? No. We are the same people. The thing that's different is mindset and action. I set my mind to what I wanted to achieve, and I took action to achieve it. And there is nobody in this community, nobody on this Zoom tonight, who does not have the ability to grow a business and become a ranked leader. You can start by reading positive mental attitude books. This is a bit old school. Remember, I'm in my 50s. So I started it in this industry when I was in my 20s. That was my first exposure. I say I started, but that was my first exposure to this industry. It was when I was 20 years old, give or take. And we used to listen to cassettes, and we used to listen and read books. And I can tell you, the books, the cassettes changed my life, changed the way that I viewed myself, the way I viewed my position in the world, and the way I viewed the world around me. Say positive affirmations. Say them to yourself. There's been times in my life where this has proved very powerful for me. And it's something I used for my daughter when she was very young. I used to stand her on the kitchen sink. We would look at each other in the mirror. And I used to say positive things to her. I won't tell you what. And she would say positive things to herself. So she has grown up to have a positive mindset. She sees the silver lining in the clouds. She doesn't focus on the cloud. So say positive affirmations to yourself. I recommend another great book called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. Fantastic book. So much of how we feel about ourselves is internal monologue. It's almost as if we don't want ourselves to succeed. It's time to act in spite of fear. It's okay to be afraid. That is not a lacking in your personality. That is not a lacking in you as a person. It is not a lacking in your spirit. Fear is a natural emotion. Fear is a natural instinct. But in the context of the modern world, it is exaggerated. Of course, you should be cautious. Of course, you should inform yourself. But that is exactly it. You should inform yourself. You should take some kind of action. You are not in physical danger. Record positive affirmations. You can put them on your, I don't know what you use these days, MP3 player or your iPhone or iPod. Record them, play them to yourself on your journey to work. Start putting in to your mind what you want out from your mind. If all you're telling yourself is, I can't, I don't know how, I'll never do it, I'll never manage it, I'm not good enough. If that's what you keep telling yourself, your brain will rewire itself and it will believe that. It will believe that. And it will hold you back from the future that you deserve. Of course, we live in the modern age where we have the internet. You can watch YouTube videos. There are thousands, literally thousands of videos from inspirational speakers that led the world in industries such as the affiliate marketing world, where they offer their insights, where they offer their wisdom in all aspects of mindset as well as business. Use all of these tools to help yourself. Because if you're not willing to help yourself, then how can you expect somebody else to help you? It's time to create a new self-belief system. Start telling yourself, I can do it. Stop living in the world of can'ts. Stop living in the world of I cannot and I will not and I don't knows. Start living in the world of I can do it. I will find out. I will learn. And you'll be surprised at how quick your life will start to improve, how quick your life will start to look better. The sun will shine just a little bit brighter. The clouds will look just a little bit more fluffy. The sky will look just a little bit more blue. And you will feel just a little bit more happy every single day. Now that you understand fear, you do have a choice. You can hide from it and you can remain stuck exactly where you are right now. And of course, if you're happy, not comfortable, if you're happy where you are right now, fine. You don't need to change a thing. You can remain exactly where you are. It is a choice. You may feel uncomfortable. Are you uncomfortable enough to move, to take action? Or are you like the dog on the porch, uncomfortable enough to whine about it, but not uncomfortable enough to take action and move to a different position? And if it isn't uncomfortable enough, what will be? What will be uncomfortable enough? What will it take? Will things ever get better? Will things ever change? If you're waiting things to change just from luck, I think it'll be a long wait. So you have a choice. You can remain stuck, or you can partner with it. Partner with that fear. Success isn't always about greatness. It's about consistency. Consistent hard work leads to success. Greatness will come. Dwayne Johnson. I'm not sure that he is yet recognized as one of the leaders in the world of Proverbs, but this is certainly a great start. Success isn't always about greatness. It isn't. It's about consistency, constantly taking action every day. A little bit more action, a little bit more action. That reminds me of an Elvis song. And you will make progress. And every day you will achieve a little bit more success. You do not need to be fearless. You just need to fear less. This is another great book that I recommend from an old mentor of mine in a UK business that I was involved in, an affiliate marketing business that I was with. I joined him. This is a guy called John Webb. I joined his team, I don't know, must be 20 years ago. And I was his top recruiter in his business. And I didn't even recruit that many, 5, 6, 7 people a month I used to bring in. And I was his top recruiter. Not because I was better, simply because I took more action. Remember, failure only exists when you stop trying and give up. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. When will you stop being afraid? I'm going to read that again. When will you stop being afraid? Haven't you had enough of being scared? We're in a safe place now. That must be evident 2 years in. With the products that we're bringing to the world, with the companies that we're working with, it must be evident now that we are here to stay. This company will grow with or without us, but we prefer it to be with us. So when will you stop being afraid? When will you stop letting fear control you? Isn't it time to let go of fear? When will you stop letting fear choose your future? Because that's exactly what is happening right now. It is time to stop being afraid and live the life that you always wanted. Thanks for listening. I'll hand you back to Grace.
Joe, I think the only fear that I have is that you may not do this presentation again. Oh my goodness. Every time that I have heard it now twice, I have learned something new. I'll just share with you real quick. I had an opportunity to apply for something, and I kept saying no, 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 because I had already benefited. This is while I was in the military. And so I talked to this general, and he said, "What's the worst thing that can happen if you apply?" He said, I said, "Well, they'll say no." And he said, "There you go. Let them say no to you. Don't say no to yourself." So I applied, and guess what? The fairy tale story. I was accepted. It was to continue my education, and from then on, I learned from that, along with what you have just stated, is don't say no to yourself. Let others say no to you. And guess what? You'll survive it, and you will keep on going. And no does not kill. It only inspires. But Joe, the reason I like this presentation is applicable. You almost need this presentation playing in the background every time that you wake up, every single day in everything that you do is applicable in everyone's life. So thank you. That's a long thank you for presenting this again. And I think that it should be a regular fare, a part of the menu, uh, quarterly, perhaps. I know there's a lot of people who agree with me out there, and we do have a question. Okay, just repeating my manga. Great. Absolutely. Folks, do you have any question? Do you see the applicability of everything that Joe has presented today? It is incredible. I find it personally inspiring and motivating to get up and challenge the world. And so you're absolutely right about courage. I jumped out of airplanes while I was in the military. I was trained to do that, and it is it's not the absence of fear, but it's being afraid and going forward. Of course, all my jumps were night jumps. I had my eyes tightly closed.
Yeah.
So it can be done. It's that type of courage to be able to put yourself out there. That's basically really what you do. And um, to be able to do that, you reap so much more when you do. Anyone have any questions? You guys are awesome. Thank you, Joe. I'm very, very inspired. I hope you are all inspired to go ahead and have heard this again. And so we will go forward. And right now, I know that you jotted some things down. There is another comment, question. Joe, what can I say? I wish you listen to this every day of my life. Thank you, Natalia. This is what I keep telling him. I said I want to listen to it every single day. Every morning, I think I'm going to um, download it and play it every single morning. Seriously, you put it together so well. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much. Um, and I really appreciate you all being here. Joe appreciates all the hearts, all the claps, and the comments. So we'll see you Tomorrow, Saturday, is the onboarding, and hopefully we'll get a little bit more alpha AI. And then Joe will be around on Sunday for Q&A. Thank you so much for all you do for the community, Joe. Thank you all. And we are looking forward to seeing you and a brand new week starting after the learning weekend. Until then, we'll see you. Bye-bye.
Good night, all.
Mm.